Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life of yours truly. My bad, your boy has definitely been slacking on the videos, but forgive me, I've been healing. Today we're going to be focusing on making some meal prep for the week. Now, I know I've been kind of boring with my meal prep in the past, so today we're going to try something a little different. I'm feeling a little bit of Chipotle this week, so what I'm going to do is make my very own Chipotle bowl. First, I cut all the fat from the chicken, and then I cut my chicken breast into thin slices. I cut them nice and thin so I can be able to taste the flavor on each side. Not sure if that makes sense or if that's how that works, but hey, it sounds right to me. As a matter of fact, here's a chicken joke. What's a chicken's favorite dessert? Coop cakes. Okay, it sounded better in my head. Now that I placed the chicken in a bowl, it's time for me to make the Chipotle marinade. It's not that much to it. You just add 6 cloves of garlic, half an onion, chop up a bunch of cilantro, and add to that a little bit of oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, chili powder, salt, adobo, some olive oil, this funky chipotle mix, chipotle peppers, I don't know, stop asking me questions, and some fresh lime juice. Blend it all up until it's nice and thick, and there you go. Add the marinade into the chicken and mix it all together. Gotta make sure that flavor is all sealed up, and then I place it back in the fridge for about 2 hours. Now that my chicken is ready, I add some olive oil to the pan. Gotta make sure that all the oil is spread out. Set the heat on medium and place 2 pieces of chicken in the pan and let them sit until they get all nice and crispy. I really do like the way the color came out on the chicken. And you see, it's the little things that help me realize that I'm getting better at this cooking thing. While I let the chicken cook for a bit, it's time to move on to making my cilantro lime rice. Just get some white rice, jasmine rice, or whatever you prefer, and just make sure that you wash your rice before you cook it, of course, because I've seen the way people have done their rice and it's not the best. One thing that I've learned from cooking is when you're cooking multiple things at once, you have to pay close attention to all of them, because there's been plenty of times when I'm focusing on one meal and I completely forget the others, which would ruin the dish. So always keep that in mind. I added some lime juice, but only half a lime. You don't want to add too much because the taste will overpower the rice. And then I add some cilantro to give it that flavor and some color, and then I just let it simmer. After tasting my rice and making sure that it's the way that I like it, I just switch the pots over and it's time to make the beans. But before I do that, I gotta put some elbow grease and scrape off all the burnt residue from the pan, because in the past I would just leave it there, and when I would cook over that, the food would end up tasting burnt. For the beans, I used 2 cans of Goya black beans, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter what kind of beans you use, it's really up to your preference. Added a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of some onion powder, okay, a little bit more, some lime juice, and then I stirred it up and just let it simmer. As I let the beans cook, and it looks like the chicken is about ready for me to take it off the stove, so it's time for me to move over and cut my chicken into pieces for my meal prep. I cut the chicken into nice thick pieces so that when I put it in my meal prep, I make sure I have enough protein throughout the week. All I gotta do now is spread the chicken out evenly into my meal prep, and then pack it up into my Tupperware, put it in the fridge, and then that's my meal prep for dinner. And since I had some chicken left over, I'm not gonna lie, I just got lazy and made some chicken wraps like I did last week, but Chipotle style, of course. For the wraps, I pretty much did the same thing. I just added some Chipotle sauce, a little bit of cheese, and this time I added some spinach, wrapped them up, and then fried them for a little bit on each side, and then they're good to go. And that's pretty much it. Making some Chipotle chicken wraps for the week, and that's my lunch for my meal prep. And before I go, I have another chicken joke. Why are chickens so funny? Because? Alright, let me just throw the rest of these jokes away. Chicken was definitely a 10 out of 10 because I made it, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't have posted this video. Have a great day, and see you next time.